Life is never stingy. It is man who shuts the door upon his own supply. The great law of abundance is forever moving like a river that never runs dry. Yet many walk thirsty beside its waters because of doubt, fear, or careless words. You must remember every word you speak plants a seed. And those seeds either open the gates of gold or build walls of lack around you. I have seen men and women struggle for years, not because life withheld from them, but because their very own tongues pronounced poverty, fear, and limitation. The invisible substance of supply waits for command. It waits for your faith-filled word to shape it into visible riches. When one dares to believe, truly believe that there is a supply for every demand, mountains of debt dissolve, closed doors swing open, and money flows in mysterious, perfect ways. Faith is the magnet that draws wealth. Fear is the barrier that blocks it. Which one will you speak today? Gratitude is the golden key. When you give thanks in advance, as though the money were already in your hand, life is compelled to fulfill that word. I once knew a woman who had nothing but a few coins, yet she gave thanks every day, declaring, "My supply is endless, and it appears now." Soon doors opened, and she was invited into opportunities that blessed her with more than she had ever known. Gratitude had prepared the way. Prayer is not begging, it is commanding with divine authority. When you pray in the right vibration, you are not asking the universe for scraps. You are opening the floodgates of treasure that already belongs to you. Prayer is the lever that lifts the locked lid off hidden resources. I recall a time when every avenue of income seemed shut to me. I stood still, silent within, and declared with certainty, "There is no lack in divine mind. Therefore, there can be no lack in me." That very week, unexpected avenues opened. Money that had long been delayed was released. It was as if a spiritual key had turned in the lock. And so, I give to you 3 mighty prayers. Use them, speak them boldly, and watch them unlock your blocked money. The first prayer, divine substance, is my instant, constant, and abundant supply. I see riches everywhere, and riches flow to me in perfect ways. The second prayer, every barrier to my prosperity is dissolved now. The river of abundance flows freely, and money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. The third prayer, I am aligned with the law of prosperity. Wealth is drawn to me. Opportunities pursue me, and all that is mine by divine right comes quickly, richly, and freely. Not whisper these prayers timidly. Speak them as a decree. See the pictures in your mind. Feel the joy of answered prayer, and walk forward as if you already hold the treasure. For you do. The supply is not coming. It already is. Your words are the key. Your faith is the hand that turns it. And your gratitude is the open door through which wealth must rush in. Speak, believe, and give thanks, and you will unlock every blocked blessing. There is a hidden current flowing through Lifa, great river of supply that never runs dry. Just as the sun shines the spoken word as a creative force, without ever dimming, divine abundance is forever radiant, forever available, forever pouring forth. Yet most people live as though the universe is stingy, as if they must fight, beg, or struggle for every coin. The truth is supply is not created by man. It is created by the unseen law of God, and it is infinite. Think of the air you breathe. You never fear it will run out. You inhale freely, knowing there is always more. So it is with money, wealth, and opportunities. They are expressions of the same divine law, circulating endlessly, waiting for you to step into the rhythm of faith. The moment you align your thoughts and words with abundance, you tap into this unseen law, and suddenly what was once blocked begins to flow. The law of supply is impartial. It does not play favorites. It simply responds to your vibration, your belief, and your spoken word. If you declare lack, it mirrors lack. If you declare plenty, it rushes to fill your life with plenty. This is why we must awaken to the unseen, for what is invisible is far more powerful than what is seen. Your fortune, your breakthrough, your wealthy, it already exists in the invisible, and prayer is the key that draws it into sight. Your words are living forces. Every syllable you speak is like a seed cast into the soil of the universe, and sooner or later it brings forth a harvest. Some people plant seeds of lack without realizing it by constantly saying, "I can't afford this. I never have enough, and money slips through my hands." These words, though carelessly spoken, create invisible walls that block the very supply they seek. But when you choose words of abundance, you unlock hidden doors. Declarations such as, "Money comes to me in perfect ways. I prosper wherever I go. I am always supplied," carry a vibration that calls forth opportunities, unexpected checks, open doors, and divine connections. The universe listens to the sound of your speech, and like a faithful servant, it obeys. Imagine a key in your hand. Every time you speak words of lack, you turn the key backward, locking up the chest of treasures meant for you. But every time you speak words of faith, gratitude, and abundance, you turn the key forward, opening the chest wide and releasing streams of prosperity. This is not just poetry, it is a law. The spoken word has creative power. It is the architect of your financial destiny. Buffett is the golden bridge between the unseen and the seen, between what you desire and what you hold in your hands. Many people live behind invisible walls of doubt, chained by fear that money will not come, that opportunities will slip away, that they are destined for lack. Yet faith is the hammer that shatters those walls. The moment you dare to believe, truly believe, that supply is already yours, the barriers begin to crumble. Faith is not hoping. Faith is knowing. It is the inner certainty that your needs are already met, even before the evidence appears. A man may look at his empty purse and declare with trembling lips, "I am rich in divine substance, and my wealth now manifests." Though the purse seems empty, his faith fills it with unseen riches that must soon appear in visible form. Think of faith as the light that melts away shadows. Where fear cries, "There is not enough," faith whispers, "All is already provided." Where doubt says, "The door is closed," faith says, "I see doors opening now." This shift in consciousness is more powerful than any effort of struggle or toil. For faith aligns you with the limitless reservoir of divine supply. Gratitude is a magnet that pulls unseen riches into your visible world. When you give thanks, not after you receive, but before you activate a spiritual law that commands supply to appear. Most people wait for evidence before they are thankful, but the one who walks in gratitude ahead of time walks with the key, 2 miracles in hand. Imagine a farmer sowing seeds. He does not wait until the harvest rises from the earth to rejoice. He celebrates while the seeds are still underground, because he knows the law of growth will not fail him. So it is with money and opportunity. Gratitude is your inner song of certainty, your declaration that my harvest is on the way. And this song draws the supply toward you with irresistible force. I have known men and women who had only a small coin, yet they lifted it up and said, "I thank you for the overflowing wealth this represents." That small coin became a personal revelation that changed everything, symbol of their faith. And soon channels opened, unexpected work, surprise gifts, delayed payments released. Gratitude turned what looked like not enough into the beginning of plenty. Gratitude changes your vibration. It turns your heart into a magnet, your words into commands, and your life into a field ready for harvest. The more you thank, the more you receive to thank for. The law cannot be broken. Gratitude is not just courtesy. It is spiritual currency that multiplies what you hold in your hands. Prayer is not pleading with life. It is commanding with divine authority. Too often people approach prayer as beggars, hoping that maybe somehow God will hear and drop a coin into their empty hands. But true prayer is not begging. True prayer is alignment. It is standing tall as a child of the infinite and declaring what is mine by divine right now appears. Think of prayer as a master key. Imagine a great treasure chest overflowing with wealth, but sealed with a lock. Worry cannot open it. Struggle cannot force it. Fear only tightens it. But one prayer spoken in faith, one word charged with conviction, can turn the lock with ease, and the lid will lift, revealing all that has been waiting for you. Prayer shifts the atmosphere of your life. When you declare, "My supply is abundant, my channels are open, and money comes to me freely," you are not asking the universe to create something new. You are unlocking what already exists in the invisible realm. Money, opportunities, ideas, and favor are already yours, waiting in the unseen. Prayer is the bridge that brings them into form. Every prayer of faith vibrates beyond your lips. It moves into the invisible, rearranging conditions, touching hearts, and opening channels you could never imagine. One spoken word of truth can travel farther than 1,000 desperate efforts, because prayer carries the authority of the Spirit behind it. There was a season in my life when every door seemed closed, money was delayed, opportunities slipped through my hands, and no matter how hard I tried, supply appeared blocked. I remember standing in silence, staring at my empty purse when a voice within whispered, "Your words have power. Speak differently and life will answer differently." So I began to change my language. Instead of saying, "I don't have enough," I declared, "I walk in abundance and money comes to me in perfect ways." At first, it felt like I was speaking into the air, but I persisted. I repeated these words as though they were a song. I wrote them down, carried them in my pocket, and spoke them aloud every morning. Then the atmosphere shifted. A delayed payment that I had long given up on was suddenly released. A friend who owed me nothing offered unexpected help. New opportunities presented themselves in places I had never looked before. It was as though a spiritual door had swung open simply because I had changed the Kimai words. That experience taught me that every spoken word is a decree, and when spoken with faith, it can overturn any condition, no matter how stubborn. It seems my life transformed not through struggle, but through the invisible power carried on my tongue. Words are seeds, but prayers are seeds charged with divine fire. When spoken in faith, they break through the soil of doubt, fear, and lack, and bring forth a harvest of wealth and opportunity. These are not ordinary prayers. They are spiritual decrees keys that fit the lock of blocked money and open the way to freedom. The first prayer is the prayer of recognition. Divine substance is my instant, constant, and abundant supply. I see riches everywhere, and riches flow to me in perfect ways. This prayer shifts your eyes from limitation to the endless river of provision already surrounding you. Speak it until you feel the truth stirring in your spirit. The second prayer is the prayer of release. Every barrier to my prosperity is dissolved now. The river of abundance flows freely, and money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. When you speak this, imagine walls of lack crumbling, chains of debt falling, and doors of opportunity swinging wide. It clears the path for wealth to find you. The third prayer is the prayer of alignment. I am aligned with the law of prosperity. Wealth is drawn to me, opportunities pursue me, and all that is mine by divine right comes quickly. Faith as the invisible substance of wealth richly and freely. This prayer declares your harmony with the eternal law of abundance. It magnetizes prosperity, drawing it into your life as naturally as the sun draws flowers to bloom. Each of these prayers is a spiritual key. Speak them boldly, speak them with expectancy, and watch how the invisible world rearranges itself to deliver visible blessings. The greatest tragedy is not that people live without money. It is that they live without vision, they speak timid words, expect little, and walk as beggars when they are heirs to infinite treasure. Life responds not to weakness but to boldness. When you speak with authority, when you expect miracles instead of delays, when you carry yourself in the consciousness of wealth, the universe has no choice but to reflect it back to you. Picture yourself entering a grand banquet hall. The table is filled with food, yet you remain in the corner whispering, "I don't deserve a seat." But the truth is, the seat has been reserved for you all along. That is how many treat wealth. They stand outside the feast of abundance while life waits for them to step up, claim their place, and speak the words of ownership. This table is mine by divine right. Your words must be bold, your expectations high, your walk steady with the assurance that you are provided for. Wealth consciousness is not arrogance. It is agreement with divine law. It is walking through life as though the ground beneath your feet is paved with supply, as though every step forward is a step into greater abundance, and as you dare to walk that way, you become a living magnet for money, opportunities, and miracles that defy human logic. The rivers of abundance are already flowing. The treasure chest is already full. The doors are already open. It is not life that withholds from you. It is only your doubt, your fear, and your careless words that build the barriers. But today, you hold the keys. Gratitude, faith, and prayer are your tools. Your words are your command. Dare to speak boldly. Dare to expect miracles. Dare to walk in the consciousness of wealth, knowing that every step you take is guided by divine law. As you declare abundance, it must appear. As you give thanks, blessings must multiply. As you pray with authority, locked resources must be released. Remember this. You are not a beggar at the gates of life. You are the heir of an infinite kingdom. Stand tall, speak your word, and move forward with certainty. Riches in perfect ways are already rushing toward you. Believe it, decree it, and live it, for the supply is not coming. It is here, and it is yours now.